All right. I don't know what this is about yet. I think it has something to do with knowing your worth, knowing your value. Um, I mean, we'll see. We'll get into it. But, well, let me first, I'm going to just start there, because why not? Um, Knowing your worth, knowing what you are worth, knowing what you bring to the table, knowing your value. Sometimes we get so caught up in trying to attract relationships or interact with other people or get our business to a certain level that we forget what we bring. We forget that it is our unique perspective, our life experiences, our way of piecing together things in our minds that really bring the value. It is our creativity that brings the value. You understand? It really is understanding that underestimating yourself or quote unquote being humble, which is a man made societal construct that I fucking hate. But, anyways, trying to be humble and play small and shrink yourself to make other people comfortable is going to be continue to be a miserable existence for you. You are so much brighter than that, so much greater than that. Um, it's really a shame that through familial upbringings or through certain things in society, things that you learned on the playground, things that you learned in a professional setting as well. Sometimes it's, someone tells you that you need to basically respect the chain of command, respect all of the people above you and not have your input heard or your opinions valued. Some of you are in marriages where your opinions are not valued. You're trying to be with people that it feels like you have to force things with. You want them to accept you and love you and the whole, tribal aspect of being human. But sometimes you need to just cut ties and be alone. Sometimes it's okay to just be alone. You know, it's not always this like low down, low, miserable type of existence when you are alone. Sometimes it's very necessary to get the proper ideals in your mind of what you want, not just what you want, your true desire, right? So desire is stronger than want, and really building the life, but also the personality and the aspects of yourself that you would love to carve out. So instead of thinking that, oh, one day, 3 years from now, I will become the person I want to be, start being that person now. What is it that that person does on a daily basis? What is it that that person values? What is, meaningful to them? What type of activities do they take part in? How do they treat people? How do they go about life? A lot of times we can become bitter from past things that did not work out. And so we guard our heart so much that we don't allow in new love or new opportunities. And that can get to a place of where you feel like something is wrong with you. If only you could change this or be that way, or if you continue to go out for drinks, even though you know that you're starting to not like alcohol so much. You know what I'm saying? When you get older, it starts to feel differently in your body. It doesn't feel as good as it did when you were in your 20s. It starts to feel like it weighs you down or it makes you lethargic or it gives you indigestion and heartburn or whatever. Now, I'm not one of these anti alcohol people, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I am. But I will say that from someone who in the military drank 7 days a week, the whole drunken sailor type thing. I was drinking 7 days a week till now, like I might maybe have one or two a week. You know what I mean? Like one drink a week, where it used to be like 3 or 4 drinks a night, 7 days a week. So, from someone who's cut back considerably, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I'm anti-alcohol or anything like that. But allowing myself to adapt into that new person, allowing myself to be okay with not, going out and getting drunk and partying when I know that I need to sit home and reflect and meditate or watch the Jeffersons and honor myself enough to spend that time alone. instead of going out and being in a social circle or situation where people just want to, get into all the getting turned, and bacchanal and all of that kind of craziness and stuff. So sometimes it's just about honoring yourself, where you are and where you're going. Think about yourself tomorrow and what your tomorrow self would like from you today. Now, it's not to say get so caught up in the future that you get all this anxiety and like, oh my God, how's it going to happen? But just more so of like, what you do today impacts your future self tomorrow. So even if there might not be a tomorrow, meaning like, I mean, obviously you can go out and get hit by a bus today. You know what I mean? Like life is that fleeting. You never know. You never know what could happen. However, if you think about having a tomorrow or having next several tomorrows, you think about having 16 tomorrows. What is it that your future self would really benefit from today? What kind of daily habits, things like that. So um that, and then like I said, just knowing your worth and knowing your value. Like you are the anchor to this entire reality. You understand? This reality that you're living exists because of you. My reality is different than yours. Your reality is different than your mother's or your grandmother's or your uncle's or your best friends or whoever it is that you interact with on a daily basis, or I should say on a monthly basis or a yearly basis. You understand? Like even you walking down the street, the way you perceive the world is differently than the person walking on the other side of the road. So this entire reality is based upon you. So, understanding how much magnitude you truly have in this universe, how much power you truly have, how much inner power you have, taking back that inner power. Sometimes we're broken down so much and we've been taught to hide our true selves so much that we give away parts of ourselves or we get away from ourselves. So what can you, I'm not even gonna say what can you really bring to the world. It's more so recognizing what you do bring to the world on a day-to-day basis, on a monthly basis, on a yearly basis. You being here is not by accident. All right. The world supposedly ended. Let me say, the world was supposed to end in 2012. It might have. Who knows? We might be in a whole different timeline with the Mandela effect and all of that. But the point is, you survived the 2012 ending of the world. You survived COVID. You survived earthquakes and tornadoes and terrorist attacks and all kinds of shit. All right. You are here for a reason, for a purpose during this timeline right now. So understand your true magnitude and your true worth and your true value. Do not let anybody stray you from that. Don't try to contort yourself to fit them or their ideal person or who they would like to hang out with or who they would like to do business with or whatever. If those people say no to your business, they don't want to give you a grant, they don't want to give you a loan, they don't want to give you a chance, find somebody else who will. All right. It's time for us to stop playing small or relying on others to give us what we need. Go and get what the fuck you need. If one person doesn't want to help you, there are 7.6, sometimes they say 7.8, whatever. It's 7+ billion people in this world. Yes, some of them are children, some of them might be mentally unable to help you or whatever the case may be. But with the power of the internet, with the power of grit and determination, you can definitely find your tribe and find people who will help you along your journey. And sometimes you don't need help along your journey. I really feel like this is a very codependent society that tells you that you need people, you need a team. You don't always need a team. Sometimes a team can hold you back. Sometimes a team can hold you back. You could be that star player on the team, but then your other teammates don't show up and y'all lose a game. So now you're exerting energy and being great, and you're being held back by other people that are not on the same wavelength. Especially if you're on this path here, if you're walking a metaphysical path, you probably already understand that. You already know that. There are times where you're going to have to be that standout or that loner or that whatever who understands and can really see what's truly going on beyond the veil, beyond the facades. And other people around you are not going to understand that because everybody has their path. They might not be there yet. They might not ever get there. And you have to be okay with allowing people to not ever get there. I think that's one of the hardest things to learn on this metaphysical journey is like there's going to be a lot of people that are indoctrinated. Some people, if you try to tell them the truth, they're going to get defensive, or they're going to look at you like you're insane, like you need to, be locked away somewhere type thing. And you just have to stand true and really trust you. You know what I mean? Just trust you. Have faith in you and trust you. Your inner self knows, your higher being knows where it's going. It knows, it's determined to get there. So you can either sit here and keep trying to fight it, or you can accept your destiny and get towards where you need to go. So, or whatever word you want to use. Some people don't like the word destiny for some reason. So, whatever your path is, getting into alignment with your true self. And your true self already accepts you. They already understand you, already loves you unconditionally. It doesn't matter what the fuck you do. You don't need to give yourself forgiveness. Your higher self understands that everything is a journey and it's a path. So there's nothing to forgive you for. You did the best you could do with what you had, the knowledge you had, the circumstances you had, the coping skills you had at that time. So now that you're elevating, figure out new coping skills, new methods, new pathways for yourself. And so yeah, we're gonna start there today. That's wait a minute. What we doing up here? Yeah, we're gonna start here today. So anyways, I'm just pull cards now, cause I mean really I could just end this, but I'm not gonna end it. I'm gonna just pull cards, see what happens. I never go live during the day. It's odd. None of my people are here, but it's all good. Somebody needs to hear this, so even if you're a non-subscriber, you shouldn't be. You should subscribe. You know what I mean? At least like the video. Help me out. I mean, damn, it's free. It don't cost you nothing. You already giving your time, so you might as well make it worth it and help both of us out. You know what I'm saying? Help the algorithm find more people. But honestly, I do think this is a message that needs to be heard today, or whenever you hear it. We got our Nightmare Before Christmas deck, baby. Now, I'm not coming all the way over there, so you might not be able to see all the cards today, but it is what it is. You can hear me, right? So it's cool. You're not getting nothing yet. Maybe I should start. I had Nightmare Before Christmas deck, and I had the Brotherhood of the Light deck as well. If this thing will focus, I don't think it will. All right, we're gonna start with that one then. This was my first ever tarot deck. First, I ain't know nothing about tarot at all. All I knew was I walked into a place, a metaphysical bookstore, and I was like, yo, what is that? It looks dope. And I was getting called into metaphysics by Egyptian pantheon, essentially. Ancient Kemet, I should say. Excuse me. Not Egyptian. Ancient Kemet was pulling me into this metaphysical path, and I was super into, everything having to do with Kemet at that time, or basically just anything that stood out to me. And so this was my first deck. I don't remember last time I picked it up. It feels interesting. It's very interesting energy on it for sure. It's and it's a little difficult to shuffle because most tarot decks are like big. This one is like a small little playing card deck, so it's different. But whatever, we're gonna see what happens. If anything comes out, I might have to just intuitively pull something. I prefer when the cards just fly out. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, that's meant to be there. You can't deny it. But we'll see what happens. Man, we're not getting nothing. I'm taking this. I don't even know what this is. This deck is different. They call everything different. It looks like a young horseman with the swords. So maybe, yeah, young horseman with swords type thing. I'm gonna check that out. I don't know what that means. I guess that would equate to like pages. It might be a page. Um, suit. All right, finally. They out here embarrassing me on live TV. All right, what we got? We got a four of swords, a one of cups. So I guess that's ace of cups with the cancer symbol. Okay, so we got double cancer on here, double Taurian on here. We got the moon in that corner, feminine energy in this corner. I forgot to say before, we got the bull up here, a spade and a sword. Anyways, this is what we've pulled so far. I hope my camera's focusing. If not, oh well. I'm just read to y'all. It's all good. Let me move this other deck out the way. I got everything positioned on a cajon right now. If you don't know what that is, you should check it out. CAJON with the accent somewhere in there. Anyways, let's get to this. I'll read it in the order it came out. It's a tiny little booklet too. Oh, okay, say right here. The horsemen do not represent people, but denote thoughts or unseen intelligences. In divination, they are read as thoughts or intelligences that have an influence upon the life of the client. The one who thinks the thoughts is indicated by the court card nearest to the horseman in the spread. By the court card. So like I said, it's a spade. It looks like an ace of spades, but it's like it looks like a spade. Cool. Oh, they call it scepters in here. Scepters in here. Oh no, that is a sword. My bad. All right, the horseman of swords denotes thoughts of enmity, strife, or sickness. Right way up, it indicates thoughts devoted to the defense and protection of the client. Reverse, they are plans and desires for his ruin. So right way up, which is how we got it, it indicates the thoughts devoted to the defense and protection of you. Let's see what else we have. Get a little bit more on that. Where are the swords at? Oh, four. Okay. I forgot. This book is a little different. They just put all the fours together and then break it down. All right, so check it. The fours. Now, this is interesting, especially because this time of year right now. It says the sign Scorpio is the general significantor of fruitfulness, legacies, spirit communion, the dead, and the partner's money. Consequently, each of the fours in its more common divinatory significance must relate to one of these things according to his suit. But in their higher application, these cards reveal the influence of and can be interpreted by the fourth decanate of each zodiacal triplicity, starting the count with the movable signs. Oh shit, I went too far. All right, so look, the Four of Swords. The divinatory significance of the Four of Swords is remorse for past action. In its inner interpretation, it's determination. All right, so we're talking about remorse for the past. I'll open with that, right? We were talking about perhaps something in the past taught you that you weren't good enough in some regard. It taught you, like, I did that before and it burned me, so I'm not going to do that again. I'm not going to show that side of myself again. I'm going to guard my heart so I don't get hurt again, etc., 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 right? Something in the past is determining how you're acting now or your essence now, when really it should be who you desire to be and who your higher self is calling you to be that determines your essence. So, all right, so we're talking about determination right now. Something of the past. What else? Oh, defense and protection. And let's go with this one of this ace. Ace of Swords. In astrology, Mercury is the general significator of study, writing, correspondence, and travel. As the aces correspond numerically to Mercury in their more common divinatory significance, they relate to one of these things, according to the particular department of life signified by the suit. But in their application to higher planes, they reveal the influence of and can be interpreted by the first decanate of the zodiacal triplicity, starting, of course, with the movable signs. Where are we at? The divinatory significance of the Ace of Swords is news of sickness or death. Its inner interpretation is organization. So, determination, organization is what we have so far. Defense against getting sick. And I don't even feel like it's a physical sickness. It's more of like a sickness of the soul. It's sickness in the sense of a mental sickness, in the sense of you being out of alignment with yourself. So, first off, if you are out of alignment, that causes dis-ease, which then leads to disease. So, that is physical sickness, of course. But everything physically manifests from the mental state. So, whatever's happening mentally is going to manifest physically, which is why you might feel sick or run down or drained or whatever else it might be, right? Of course, yes, you do have mental health issues that relate to this in the regard of chronic depression or chronic pain and different things like that. However, that's a separate subject for a separate day. I will personally do a video on that. I know all about that shit. But what I'm saying right now, especially when we're talking about the defense of, is like protecting yourself against falling out of line with you. So you may have certain values, or let's take it from here. You have certain like guilt around certain things that you do or do not do. And that right there is giving you a path of what your higher self is really telling you to do. So if you feel guilty about eating too much, your higher self may be telling you that fitness or your health is important to you. So you feel bad because you eat too much. Your ideal version of you would have portion control and or physical activity, and yet you're not doing that now. So you're feeling this kind of like push and pull, this a lot of this dis-ease and a lot of like discomfort within, because and it will manifest externally as well. But you'll have all of this kind of like, I don't know, it's like tightness or frustration. It's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like you just feel that all the time because you're not where your true path is. Now, for everybody, that might not be the path for everybody, right? Some people have to be gluttonous kings and all that kind of stuff. But the point is, like, there's something or some things, I think there's at least 3 things, maybe 4, where you're being shown that you're not in balance with where your optimum being is or would be. Your optimum being is already there. You need to catch up to them, but you get it. Let's see if it's something else from this card, from this deck. I mean, yes. Now this dude looks very royal. 1. I think this is the Ace of Scepters, but there's a cup in the back. Well, damn. No, because he has a sword and a cup in the back. Pretty sure this is the Ace of Scepters. But you can see very royal looking, like a magician, like a power control type shit. Maybe this is the magician card. I don't know. This deck is it's kind of all over the place. That's one of the things. Like, it was my first tarot deck, but it's very it's so different from all the others. Especially, I never got that Rider-Waite bullshit. I don't want that traditional crap. Out of all the decks I have, some of them you can't see on camera right now. They all have their own style, but they all kind of fit into like the traditional system. This one is like completely left field or whatever. So uh I don't know. Bear with me. Whatever. No, I was right. Arcanum 1, which is this, because I can see it at the top. Boom. I told you, you look regal, man. You look like a magician. I didn't know that. Anyways, Arcanum 1 is the magus or magician. In divination, Arcanum 1 may be read briefly as will or dexterity. Arcanum 1 expresses in the spiritual world absolute being, which contains and from which emanates the infinity of possibilities. In the intellectual world, unity, principle, and synthesis of numbers, and the will, principle of acts. In the physical world, man, the highest place, man, the highest placed of relative being, who is called upon to raise himself by a perpetual expansion of his faculties in the concentric spheres of the absolute. So breaking all that down, some of y'all are like, "What the fuck?" Look, they're saying that man is the highest placed of relative being. So human beings are the top of the food chain, quote unquote. We're the top of the animal kingdom um in this 3D reality. That's why it says relative being, because off of earth in the spiritual plane, this is actually a very low vibrational place to be. Earth is like the equivalent to hell. It literally is. This is the lowest vibration that place that you can be when it comes to the astral realm and things like that. But for some of y'all that are not on that wave, don't worry about it. You'll get it one day. But the point is that you are called, anyways, who is called upon to raise himself by a perpetual expansion. So it means you're always growing. You're always having to call yourself to a higher realm, into a higher realm, into a higher realm. Your higher being will always be calling you to the next thing, the next greatest thing, growth. That's all it's saying, right? Perpetual just means on and 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 on. Like perpetuity means forever in legality terms. So same thing. Expansion of his faculties, which is like I said, growth, expanding your resources in the concentric spheres of the absolute. Anyways, remember then, son of earth, that man should, like God, act without ceasing. To will nothing and do nothing is more fatal than to will and do ill. Oh, now that's a bar. It's in like old timey language, but that's a bar, yo. To will nothing and do nothing is more fatal than to will and do ill. So at least if you go out here and you try something and it might not be, the outcome that you desire, that's still better than sitting around in stagnation, right? So we're talking about perpetual growth, always elevating, all right? So that's why this past that we were just talking about on this first card, the past will keep holding you back, keeping you stuck, keeping you out of alignment, because you're sitting here trying to live a life now based upon what happened then. And that's crazy when you hear me say it like that, right? You're trying to live a life now based off of a life that happened then. That life already happened. It's gone. You can sit around here and ruminate all damn day. That life is gone. Now, sometimes the most painful lessons are the best lessons, right? Because sometimes in order for us to grow, we have to be pushed and pulled and trauma and all kind of stuff has to go on for us to get the damn lesson. Some of us are hard-headed as hell. For me personally, I have to go through things and experience it firsthand. Why? Because part of my path is to be a teacher in a regard, not elementary school shit, but a real life teacher. And how can I teach you how to do something if I ain't never been there before? So I can teach someone who used to be homeless how to come into prosperity because I've done it. You understand? I can also teach somebody financial literacy because the first time I had $75,000 all at once, I blew it. You know what I mean? Well, I didn't fully blow it. I was as responsible as I could be without financial literacy. I had to teach myself all of that shit. You know what I mean? Money market accounts, high yield savings, ETFs, mutual funds, stocks, options. I had to learn all of that from scratch. And on top of that, give myself, you know what I mean, like $10,000 just to finally blow off steam and have fun. But the rest of it, I did need to be very calculated with my moves to avoid going back to being homeless. So the point is, if I had not lived those two sides of the spectrum, how in the world can I come to you and tell y'all, yo, this is what you need to do this, and that? Because it's like I have no authority. I have no life experience. You know, one of my favorite artists, the other day, I heard them say in an interview that you don't have to live the life in order to write about it. And I think that's complete bullshit. I really do. Because you can't talk to me about living on the street when you have always had a roof over your head. You can't talk to me about food insecurity when you've never had to wonder where your next meal was coming from. You understand? It's just different. Yes, you can sit there and write about it, but there's a certain level of authority and authenticity that's missing from that. Because you're from the outside looking in. You're not actually someone who has had to go through certain trials in order to get the bountifulness and the abundance and prosperity. So, in any case, let's get back to the card, right? The point is that if the maggots should appear, the prophetic signs of thy horoscope, it announces that a firm will and faith in yourself. Isn't that what I started with? Come on, man. Dog. It blows my mind how in tune I am sometimes. It's just synchronicity is just always amazing to me. It's not even to like, well, I was gonna say it's not even to brag like I'm so great, but like, see, this is me knowing my worth, knowing my value. This is when I am tuned in, I can channel some shit. The very first thing I said, I didn't even pull cards. I came here talking to y'all about this, about trusting yourself, having faith in yourself. I said that. And now the very last card we pull, boom, it's right here on the paper, black and white. I don't remember the last time I picked up this deck. So, in any case, this is live, by the way. I don't know if I'm going to make this a podcast or short or whatever, but right now this is live. So, let's get it. Anyways, it announces that a firm will and faith in yourself, guided by reason and a love of justice, will conduct you to the end that you wish to attain and will preserve you from the perils of the way. So this will get you past all the obstacles. I talked about this in I think that coffee break tarot 2 days ago or yesterday or something like that. But basically, like, when you're on your path, nothing is stopping you. You're not stopping me. You're not getting me off my path. I don't care what you throw in my way. I'm going to find a way past that shit. That shit is not going to phase me. Now, sometimes, yeah, it can take you down for a minute. It might have you like a little bit stagnant. But as long as you keep showing up every day, show up every day. Whatever your new self needs from you, show up every day. When you're sick, when you don't feel like it, when you have a death in the family, whatever's going on, show up every day. What are the daily habits that your new self needs? What are the daily habits that are going to make you greater or to finally get you past this point of being stuck? Because once you are unstuck, now you can go and help elevate the entire globe. A lot of times they want us to focus on all the negative that happens here on this earth and in this planet and everything that's so down, 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 down. Well, if you start with you and you start elevating you, then you can help your community grow. And if you tell 6 people in your community, then they can go tell 6 people that they know. And then those 6 people can go tell 6 people that they know. And then those people go tell 15 fucking people that they know. So the point is, if you want the world to change around you, first off, it's your perception and how you view things. There's a lot of positivity that happens on a day-to-day basis. You breathing right now, that's a miracle in its own right. You understand? So many things could have went wrong, but so many things went right in order for you to be able to breathe and have air in your lungs right now. All of your ancestors had to survive. Every single last damn one of them had to survive. You understand? Like for you to be born. You understand how crazy that is? If you look at the destruction of the world. But the point is, keeping your eyes right and keeping your mind right, you can start to see more of the positive that's happening around you. You can start to be grateful for the fucking sunshine outside. You can start to appreciate the food, appreciate what it takes for the people who have gotten the food to you. It's not just about you going to the grocery store having it dropped off at your door. A farmer had to make that happen. You understand? Somebody had to do the shipping aspect. A UPS or FedEx driver had to get that shit to you. So there's just so much more that goes into it, which is why people go on and on about it's all connected and things like that. Um, the point is, I'll say it again. A firm will and faith in yourself, guided by reason and a love of justice. All right, I ain't talking about going out here scamming people and things like that. See, that's that low vibrational bullshit. There are ways to get ahead in this world without having to give up your integrity. There are. It's slower. I will admit that it's a slow path. It is a slow path. All right. I could be way further if I used all of my knowledge to manipulate and scam people in a negative light. You could be way further ahead if you were willing to take advantage of people and prey on them. However, then you have to answer for that shit. Because maybe the cops won't catch you, but you damn sure are going to get caught by the universal law of cause and effect. All right? You don't get away from it just because something doesn't happen right now in this physical 3D reality. People out there that do that shit, you see that they are in this perpetual state of negativity. They always got something going wrong. They always got some type of fucking health issue and all this kind of stuff. So this is exactly what we're talking about today. All right? Vibing high enough or being in alignment enough that you can have a sustainable and clean life to an extent, despite all of the trauma that has happened in the past and things like that. And then you can motivate and inspire other people around you to do the same. And then your community is now changing communities, and all of those communities are now changing the globe. So it really does truly start with you. But a lot of people don't want to do the inner work. Some people are afraid to face themselves. There's all these kinds of things that people come up with. That I'll address in a separate video. But in any case, if you're guided by reason and love of justice, it will conduct you to the end that you wish to attain. So whatever it is that you seek and desire, you will have. And it will preserve you from the perils along the way. Again, if you live in with the light, this deck is called the Brotherhood of the Light, right? Sisters too, whatever. Y'all welcome. In betweens, whatever you want to call yourself. I don't, but the point is, it's about having a community of the light. If the light is shining through you, if you're in alignment, some days you're going to falter. Obviously, you're human. It's going to happen. But if you can get yourself back on the path, and keep going in a clean way, you will feel the energy around you changing. And when you walk into a room, people will recognize the light within you. And if you inspire just one other person or 6 other people, then who knows who the hell that they can go have a conversation with, or who they can talk to. That's now going to go change that too. So it's a slow process when you don't go around scamming or putting certain symbology out there to bring down the vibrations of people, or produce a certain type of music that is known. Those 808s are known to literally keep you in a low vibration. When you're not doing that, it does take longer. But sometimes you learn more on the journey than you do the destination. Sometimes the journey is better than the destination. Taking the scenic route, taking a certain path is better than when you actually showed up and got there. So what else we got next? I'm gonna put this oh man, we are 39, baby. Shouts out. That's my personal number. One of them. 3s and 9s, baby. 3s and 9s. I don't even mind that. Oh, look, somebody's in here. I'm so high while watching this. Thank you. Dude, just a dude. I'm literally tripping right now. I don't know if you're still in here because it's not showing me anybody, but yes. I hope you appreciate the fractals in the back. And I literally took a tab right before starting this live. So I feel it kicking in. I'm about to peak, so I'm about to get off this mug. But you see what I'm saying? Me coming on here has helped one person. So if I can help them, they help somebody. Boom, 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 keep it moving. But I am about to be just as high as you. High off spirit and high off of psychedelics too. So it is all good. Let's see what we get from my Nightmare Before Christmas deck because it's the most suiting, you know, blending Halloween and Christmas. That was a genius idea. And Tim Burton, I mean, he's unparalleled for real. Let's see. Know your worth, know your value. Ain't nothing coming out of this deck though. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. All right, let's just shuffle these little cards. There seems to be, I don't know, 6 of them. I'm not reading 6 cards, dog. I'm gonna take this one. Boom, the Magician. Are you kidding me? We just got the Magician in both fucking decks, dude. This is the power. This is what I'm talking about. This is the power we have. Honestly. You have all the power to change your world and your reality, for real. And you don't have to scam people with illusions to get there either. Listen. Oh, so they put the witches on here. It says, oh, you can't even really see that. It's daytime, man. I don't know. The Magician. Like the witches of Halloween Town, the Magician combines raw talent and ambition with focused action to manifest a magical vision. Upright. You're bubbling over with creativity and inspiration. Now is the time to do something meaningful with it. Put action behind all your inspired energy to make real progress. Hold on, let me reread that. Put action behind all of your inspired energy to make real progress. Focus, come up with a plan, and make your dreams come true. Boom. This is everything that I've been saying summarized perfectly. I don't even think we need another card, but I'm going to do it just because. That was beautiful. I should read that 6 times. But y'all can really just rewind. Yeah, I like that. That was a good message. Man, this is trippy. Let me turn me off for a second. I want to just look at this for a second. Ain't that beautiful? Man, I love fractals. Love fractals. Alright, I'll come back now. Yo, the boy Cynical. I don't know if Just a Dude is still in here, but the boy Cynical is coming out with a new video tonight. The 10th. And you got to watch those. I'm gonna take this card. What is this? The 6 of Candles, but it was in the reverse. So we'll see what that means. Let's see what's holding us back. Oh, look, I turned right to the candles anyway. Wait, what happened to the 6? Did I read that wrong? 5, 6. Oh, here it goes. 6 of Candles. So upright would be success. This is a victorious card showing all your hard work is paying off and you're getting the rewards you deserve. Keep the momentum going by turning this self-confidence boost into motivation for your next project. However, we got it in the reverse. So where we are now is you've been measuring yourself against other people's barometers of success and feeling disappointed. It's time to check in with yourself. What makes you happy? What do you find fulfilling? Reject the status quo and celebrate your accomplishments without comparing them with anyone else's. Man, this is like the most perfect reading we could ever have. Honestly. It's just it's all together. You know what I mean? But honestly, like I did ask that in another video, I don't remember when. So but are you truly happy? Are you happy? You know what I'm saying? Like with your life, where you are, where you're going. Are you happy with the things that you do on a day-to-day basis? Are you happy with the type of food that you're eating? Are you happy with who's around you, the conversations you have, the mental capacity or interactions you have, things like that? You know, a lot of times we just keep going, and we don't sit back and think, are we truly happy? or some of us don't even know what brings us happiness. You know, I will never forget. So Black had popped up earlier, right? I got to meet him backstage at this festival. I will never forget. I was coming out of this festival, and this lady was selling waters on the side of the road, right? Now in Atlanta, this is pretty common. People get their cooler and they'll go and sell drinks and stuff to different events, whatever. But anyways, everybody's like waiting for an Uber all lined up on the side of the road. And I'm walking down because I'm like, I'll have a better chance getting an Uber if I'm in one of these neighborhoods. So I stop and talk to this lady, and she's telling me like she was 54 or 44. She's no, she was 44 years old. And she straight up, she was like, you know, I'm 44 years old and I just now learned that I like mustard. That I like mustard, like something so simple, right? She was like, and that I love the color yellow. And she was like, I know it sounds crazy, but I spent my whole life focused on like what my husband needs, what my daughter needs, what this person needs, what that person needs. And I never stopped and understood, you know, my own needs or myself. So to be 44 years old and just now discover that you like the color yellow and you like mustard is like, it's crazy, right? But it happens to us because we get so bogged down in appeasing everybody else, what they need, what they want, what I think they want. Some of us are guilty of that. Like, especially in romantic relationships, it's like, oh, I think that they want me to be this, or I think that they need this. And so you're just guessing instead of asking, and you end up betraying yourself. So, anyways, all of this is just about standing in your light, standing in your power, emulating your true self, and honoring that through authenticity, through being genuine. I know it's hard too in this world sometimes because it seems that a lot of people, all the relationships are very transactional. It's about what you can get. What's the end game? Can I get this from this person? Da, 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 da. It's all of this, right? But you don't always have to play it that way. If they say life is a game, you don't have to play your game in such a monopoly type of way. You can genuinely just want to have a conversation with somebody just because you genuinely give a fuck about what they want, or what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? You can really respect just that moment of talking to the person next to you at that restaurant bar, which I've done a bunch of times. Sometimes I want to be left alone, but it just happens. I don't know. People strike up conversation with me. Sometimes I'll strike up one with them. But sometimes it's just about being in that moment. Like, I just genuinely care about what you have to say next, or I genuinely want to spend this moment with you. Not, you know, what can I get from you? What's the end game type thing. And even saying it out loud, like I can feel the energies, the two energies of that polarity, man. And I really do not like that other. It's like a very tight, tense energy of always trying to compete instead of create, or always trying to get a transaction done instead of just being genuine. Yeah, see, you can rhyme shit. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know what else to say right now. Um, if this helped you out, share it and help somebody else out. You know what I'm saying? Smash the like button to help the YouTube algorithm, as Manchus would say. And thanks for being part of the Wolf Pack. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you being here today. Like I said, am tripping myself, so I'm gonna go and do that. But I appreciate you all, and I hope that you took value from this. And yeah, I'm gonna see y'all on the next one.